Welcome to Piggy Bank. My first challenge was here at my landing page, which at first had my navigation bar at the top, but just a blank white page below. I found an answer on Stack Overflow which told me about writing an index element in the router, and that gave me this sort of initial output. It was also a challenge to get the navigation tabs to be highlighted with a pop-up, or a pop-down, which I preferred. I used a lot of use state with on-mouse enter, on-mouse leave for the pop-ups. And then the nav link I used from React Router has this isActive method, which keeps an active tab highlighted, green in my case. And I did some simple CSS for the on-hover highlighting. Nobody in all data. In terms of starter code, I pretty much got rid of it and started from scratch. First, making a Create React app, which made importing dependencies very easy. I used browser router as opposed to hash router, and I used plain objects for my routing as I found that easier to understand and control. Design-wise, I used bootstrap cards as instructed, but centered them. I used Architect's Daughter and Forum fonts, a nice juxtaposition, and I had fun with the Piggy Bank theme. Let's create an account to get started. So here you can see my create account button is disabled, and I can write, I'll just write my name. Nope, must contain a character. So I had some validation for the name. For the email, also must be a valid email. So still disabled here. And then password. Oh, well, that'll be fine. Oh, must contain 8 characters. 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, 1 number, 1 special case character, which I enjoyed making. And to confirm that password, passwords must match. Get that right. Create account. Success. Account been created. Piggy's hungry. Add another account. And with use state and ternary statement, I was able to make my create account button change to create another account, which is a little bit more accurate. So there's Michael. Let's change this to Chris Word Ross. And I'm going to enter this all correctly. And then we will see those at the all data page. But first, a big change here I wanted to point out was that I made my own form component. I did this because I wanted to make a professional reusable form, and I used Formic, and I wanted to do the validation with Yup, which you've basically just seen in action. I was able to use regex to enhance the password rules, so the form is like the forms we usually fill out with the uppercase and lowercase number special character. And I was able to add the extra feature of confirming password too, which was very easy to do with Formic and validate with Yup. I actually had trouble resetting the form after creating the account, but finally saw that changing the values to empty strings with my onSubmit function would reset the form. Let's go to deposit. For the deposit and withdraw pages, I used some of the logic from the ATM code we did in week 15, but did some major refactoring to make separate deposit and withdraw pages and with a little bit better design. First, I made an ATM component that I imported into both pages, where I created a sort of pre-alert validation using the property type equals number in the input, so that a non-numerical value like a letter can't be even typed in there. Take a look. You want to put some letters in there? It's not going to happen. How about typing letters? Not going to happen. Deposit button is disabled. Oh, but now we're working. I could deposit. I got some decimals in there, which I was able to do with a step property. Step equals 0.01, so I got the decimals working there. Have to enter a valid amount. Can't go below 0. And up here, I was able to get the decimals using something called a toFixed method. And with use state, we're going to have all that over here in my withdrawal. Remember, the ATM inputs, the ATM component is the same here. So can't go below 0, can't enter letters. That's not going to happen. But we can withdraw. So let's withdraw 200. Nice. Let's withdraw 50. Good. 250. What if I want to withdraw a little extra? Oh, oink. Your piggy bank doesn't have $300. So I was able to create an overdraft feature there. Implementing the use context was definitely my biggest challenge. I failed for many days with use context, so I watched a very basic tutorial and that really helped. My account balance context file is only 2 lines, 1 line to import creating context and 1 to export the balance context I wrote. The create account context for the all data page was much more complex, but after many days and attempts with some help from Anthony as well, I was able to get that working, and it was the last thing I completed. All right, so here are the 2 entries that I entered from before, and there's the passwords that everyone can see. All right, and I also made this logo over here also take you home should you want to hit that. And so we're back home. So come to Piggy Bank, where you can feel safe and secure knowing that your money is protected by a pig.